Hello friends and welcome back. Today we have another Let's Play video, import style. Today we're playing Valhalla, a Cyberpunk bartending action game. I'm super excited to play this game. I heard some incredible reviews about it, and I'm excited to share it with each and every one of you today. If you like the content you see on this channel, don't forget to leave a comment down below about what you think of the game and if you'd be picking it up or not. Also, share it with your friends. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and a like, and as always, subscribe and hit that bell notification. That way you know every time I upload a new video. I do try to upload videos about once a week. Let's get going and I'll tell you a little bit more about the game. So, what is this crazy game you're about to watch this video about? Well, Valhalla has been described by its developer, Sukeban Games, as a cyberpunk bartending action game. It is also described as a bartending simulator meets a visual novel somewhere in a cyberpunk dystopia, which is pretty cool. In the game, the player assumes a role as a bartender at Valhalla. It's a small dive bar in a dystopian downtown said to distract the most fascinating of clientele. It's set in the 2070s, according to the game's official website. It's described as a bosom up with a waifu / technology and dystopian life in a world where corporations reign supreme. All human life is infected with nanomachines designed to oppress them, and the terrifying white knights ensure that everyone obeys the laws. Corruption and food shortages run rampant in Glitch City, and the city where the where the bar is located. At the bar, a player's interaction with the game is focused on preparing drinks based on given instructions and then serving them to characters. However, the game's experience is primarily storytelling and dialogue driven. So if you are a visual novel fan, this is a fantastic kind of game for you to play. If you're not a visual novel fan, this probably wouldn't be the greatest. So, gameplay. Other than bartending, most of this game is a very visual novel-esque game. If you've ever bartended in your life, a lot of this game will really remind you of bartending. Most of the time you're making, sometimes you're making drinks, so most of the time you are actually sitting there listening and talking to your customers. This game is heavy on that, and it brought back a lot of memories of when I used to bartend and do this kind of stuff. What's cool about it is there's no real fast pace to this game. There's no time limit for creating drinks. If you make a mistake, you just reset it and do it again. You do get bonuses in the way of tips for making flawless drinks. You can also, on some drinks, add more alcohol or less alcohol and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. The game features a ton of characters. Much of the characters they're very distinct, I'll tell you that. They all have their own personalities and routines they play in the game. The player of the game, her name is Jill. She's the bartender of the dive bar in Glitch City. She's a young female bartender who was chosen for good and offered to work at a research institute, instead finding herself a better suited to field of alchemy and the mixing of drinks for customers at the bar. The game eases you into the gameplay, letting Jill practice mixing drinks, basically a mini tutorial before you actually get full into it, which you'll see in this video. The game contains a colorful cast of regulars at the bar, including a sex worker, robots, assassins, private detectives, and pop stars. After playing, I think like 20 hours into already, I couldn't put the game down, by the way. I'll talk more about that in my review. You meet some absolutely incredible off-the-wall weird characters. The characters that are in this, I'll tell you right now. One is Alma. She's described as a Christmas cake by the developer. She is a female hacker who is full of all kinds of stories, bad relationships, how pursuing your dreams can harm the ones you love, etc., etc. You also have Dorothy, an android sex worker. She's an odd character, let me tell you, she absolutely is. She's described the range of reactions people get from her as fun, since some strongly dislike while others praise her characterization in the game's prototype. So she is like she's like a 10 to 14-year-old looking sex worker, and let me tell you, like, this game does not stray when it comes to talking about some really raunchy, risque stuff when she is in your bar. It is one hell of a conversation. You also have Ingram McDonald. He's the kind of guy who likes likes company simply just for the sake of it. So just a normal dude that just hates being alone. We also have Donovan Dawson. He's the editor-in-chief and director of a prominent news site called the Augmented Eye. He's super straightforward, quite demanding. He's actually kind of a prick when you first meet him, and a guy who he knows what he wants. Cool thing later on, once you do meet these characters over and over again, most of them will actually just say stuff like, "Hey, I want the regular," or something like that. So knowing that what they had before is pretty key. And Donovan's definitely one of those that'll say that. So we also have a woman named Streaming Chan. She's a woman who streams herself 24/7, including in her intimate moments. It's funny because you get it really relates to today. You know, you have a lot of people that are streaming. This girl reminds me, because, you know, a funny thing later on in the game is, like, she's so into it. You know, you talk to her and you're like, "Hey, how long has it been since you slept?" And she's like, "I haven't slept for like a month." And then she passes out in your bar. And then, like, all the streaming people that are, like, you know, commenting on it are like, "Oh, you know, show me the when's secret time," and stuff like that. It's insane. So I'll move on here. Other characters in the game include Kim. She's an erotic girl who was actually found passed outside the bar one evening. We also have Stella. She's a cat. She's kind of a cat lady. We have Sai. She's one of the few pure-hearted and non-corrupt white knights tasked with protecting Glitch City. We have Kira Miki. She's an android. She's basically an android idol singer. She's pretty cool. She's actually really fun to talk to. I've only met her twice so far. I'm about 20-ish, like I said, hours in the game. As well as Deal and Betty. They're an android and a veterinarian, respectively, who work at a company whose majority of employees are actually corgi dogs fitted with voice boxes. Funny story about that. So the game actually starts, what you see in this video, with them talking about there's a party that involves these corgi dogs. It's a whole company that's run by corgi dogs, and they ended up, like, messing up the whole entire place and shitting on the wall. Like, it's insane. But we'll get a little bit more into that later on. I'll touch on it. But let me get back to the characters. We said Pete Davidson of McGamer noted that some characters in the game actually ridicule and parody real life themes, which is actually, you know, true. Like, you know, for example, the corgis, they're very prejudiced and even have racist tendencies with the disagreements between the different breeds of corgis who work at the company, and seem resentment between some of the corgis and what they see as other types of dogs trying to take their jobs away from them. So yeah, it's pretty fucking out there, I'll tell you that. We also have Betty. She, meanwhile, has an irritational and illogical resentment to human enhancements. So she's pretty cool. So there's a multiple endings to this game as well. You know, depending on how well you, like, get to know the characters, and making sure, like, you get your drinks right. There's multiple different endings and stuff like that. The game is very personal. It's a very personal experience between you and the characters, and you absolutely feel that. You know, starting playing this game, within probably the first 10 minutes, I couldn't put it down. It was you get sucked into the story. You want to see the struggles. You know, eventually you get further along, you start to really, like, dig and feel for these characters and what they're going through in this just absolutely insane world. You know, for me, I would have to say, I mean, it's definitely, I mean, I'm super privileged, and I'm happy to have it in my life, this game, because it really, there's things that make you relate to like what the craziness that's going on right now in this world, and you think about it, you're like, holy shit. So yeah, sit back, enjoy the rest of this video, and we'll talk a little bit later on about what I thought, my overall take, and my final closing remarks. So enjoy. Alrighty, friends, so let's talk about some final thoughts. First things first, I really enjoyed playing this game. I am not a visual novel fan at all, but after starting playing this game and really kind of getting to know the characters, I got sucked in. The first day I popped it in, which is the day I started this video, I played it for probably 12 hours. It's incredible. The game is amazing. The storytelling is fantastic. You're not doing a lot of bartending. It's a here and there. They kind of ask you to make a drink for them, but most of it is very visual novel, story driven. And let me tell you, the characters that I've described before, they get like super in depth. You get incredibly invested in them. There's a point where in the game I was actually genuinely worried, like, holy crap, what happened to this character? It's insane. There's also some super raunchy stuff that the sex worker robot talks about. There's some politicky stuff in it. It's crazy. The game, it's hard to describe, but I hope I described it well enough. It's a great game. It really is. There is a sequel planned to this game, actually, and it's supposed to drop in 2020, so this year. I will absolutely 100% be picking it up. I don't know the status 100% because of, with the HEAL shall not be named virus that's going around. But I'm hoping it comes out here soon for sure. Some people have asked me, hey, where do I get these things? Where do I get these things? I actually go to PlayAsia and order them off of PlayAsia. And I'll put the link below as to where to go get them and stuff like that. If you're interested in this game, I 100% recommend it. Even if you're not a visual novel fan, it's a great game. You get sucked in. The storytelling is great. The soundtrack is incredible to this game. You actually control the jukebox in the bar. So you can set that tone. You can set that easy tone. It's cool. It's a great game. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and taking your time. I know it's a little bit longer of a video, but I hope it's worth it. I know for me it was. I'm still enjoying playing the game. The fact there is multiple endings, and I can't wait to go through it again already to see what other endings I get. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see you guys later.